On today's show, we're joined once again by the dynamic duo. We've got Sue and Loretta, and we learn how to combine some classic decor with something probably a little bit more organic. Hello, Greg from Balloon Market here, and welcome to BMTV. And as you can see, we've got the dynamic duo of Sue and Loretta back. Hello.
Hello.
Oh, that's good. Hi. How are you both? You all right?
Very well, thank you.
Yeah, I'm sorry it's raining here today. You might be able to hear it, but
it's quite calming, isn't it?
It is, apart from us having to do this, and it gets in the way of recording sound. But anyway, hopefully it's not going to be too bad, everybody. Welcome back. Now, last time we were on the sofa, well, you guys were on the sofa, I was on the chair, and we talked about collaboration and other things. And this is kind of collaborating with two different types of design methodology, isn't it?
Yeah,
two different styles.
Yeah, so I'm going for the traditional, classic balloon decor.
And I'm going to do what I typically do, like distortion and pretty and things like that. I'll tell you what we're using.
So what colour balloons are we using?
So we are going to use all Sempertex balloons, and we've used all 12-inch within this display. This is Fashion Pink. This one is Tropical Coral. This is one of my favourites. This is their last launch of new colours, Honey Yellow.
It is.
And this one is Fashion Orange.
So, because I won't remember those words, we've basically got orange, yellow, coral and pink.
That's it.
Is that okay?
They've got special names, but
They've got special names and they'll be on the description and all of that.
But we have used 12-inch balloons, and then Sue will tell you.
I've resized them.
Sue will tell you.
You just want to do Sue's bit, don't you?
Oh yeah, I can.
You're just sticking around, aren't you?
Yeah, I can do this bit much better.
Okay.
No,
it's all Sue.
Yeah.
Go sit over there.
Off I go.
Thanks, Loretta.
Thanks for having me.
Sue.
Hi.
Classic decor.
Yes.
So you started.
It is actually how I started, and that's how the industry started as well on classic balloon decor.
What are we doing?
Okay, so today what I wanted to do was do a little bit of classic work, really simple, just to show people what it's about, talk about it in a little, there are different techniques that you can use and how you can apply it. So, today I'm doing what's called alternate size packing. That allows us to create, what I'm doing here is a panel. I'm not going to call it a wall. It's just a small panel. It's 3 columns. And basically what it is where we use 2 different size balloons. On 11-inch balloons or 12-inch balloons, you would look for a 2-inch size difference between them. So you get a mean average. So we've got here an 8-inch and a 6-inch. So your mean average is 7-inch, and therefore you can then calculate your lengths really easily.
So that, I guess that means from a pricing point of view, if you're doing classic, you know exactly what.
Absolutely. You can calculate within probably half a dozen balloons.
Yeah. You've got to allow a couple to burst or whatever.
Yeah. Or slightly there might be a miscalculation, like by 2 because of the clusters and things like that. But no, it's very, very accurate. And it really is, good bread and butter for people because they know they can go in, they know how long it's going to take them, they can easily install it, it can be pre-made, put in a van. The great thing about classic is it's clean lines.
Yeah.
I mean, when I first started in the industry, you could always identify a professional balloon artist by the beautiful clean lines that they would create, so that every balloon was perfectly sized, and if it was a pearl, what we called a pearl arch or a garland arch, it would just look like peas in a pod, that beautiful elegant line. And for corporate work, that's what they're looking for. They love that classic clean line.
Yeah.
With a balloon wall, you can, obviously we've got really vibrant colours here, but if that was a solid colour wall with a logo on it, you could, imprint a logo onto it, or you could add a logo, or you could actually build a logo into the wall.
I was just going to say that because I saw Chris Adamo. Yeah. He's got his tool. What's it called?
It's called balloonpro.co, and it's fantastic. I'm actually using it today.
Oh, right, okay.
So
balloonpro.co is effectively a design tool.
Yeah.
And Chris Adamo, he was on BMTV. Oh, I must have been. When did he come over and do the Zapier tour? 6 years ago?
Yes, it would be about that.
6 years ago, so 2018-ish.
Yeah.
And we did some BMTVs with him, and he's a great character.
He's an amazing guy, and he's very generous with this tool because you do subscribe to it, but the functionality of the tool is just growing and growing and growing. And, I don't do so much decor these days in terms of corporate events, which I used to do a lot of. I could not have designed half the decor that I did without this tool, because I could easily design a balloon wall. I could take it, I could build it in the tool, I could take it out, pop it into Canva, add in all the accessorizing bits by just importing images of balloons and things like that, send it off to my customer. They can see exactly what they're going to get. Not once did a customer say to me, that's not a clear enough image. They would love it. It would be great. And you haven't touched a balloon. And you know that when you make it out of balloons, it's going to look the same, but you know, in a three-dimensional way. It's just an amazing tool. And he now has an organic element on there as well. So
he just added something to it this week.
I think, he's added more colours on there, and he's added a new functionality.
Yes. Okay. So
I've started the third panel. So I'm on my third section. So I've already started it. So basically, as I said, it's duplicate square packing. No, it's not duplicates. It's alternate size square packing. Sorry,
I was going to correct you.
Thank you.
I wasn't.
We will do some duplicate square pack later. So on another show, I think. And we're just going to do this one first. So the two different sizes. I'm building it on Dacron line. I only ever work with Dacron for something like this for two reasons, really. One is it's actually nicer on your hands, although I have hurt my hand a little bit from pulling on another project that I've been working on. So gloves would have been a good idea today. But the most important thing is that this does not stretch. So if we use something like fishing line, then the chances are, if it goes outside, it was a mistake that I made very early on in my career. I made a beautiful helium-filled garland arch over it was a race day, and within a couple of hours, even just with a gentle breeze, the monofilament line started to stretch, and there were really big gaps in it. And then I was panicking that it would break. So that was a very big learning curve.
Yeah, absolutely. So how do you put these together?
Okay, so we're going to add some more to it. Okay.
I've got a bag of balloons
here. Have. So I'm looking at my design here. So I've actually got it sitting in front of me. So I know that the next one is 2 yellows and 2 orange.
Sorry. Like that one?
That one, okay. So that allows me to create that. So what you've got to remember is that this is going to be, say, my front. So I need to look at my design and go, I know where that sits. So that's going to sit to the right of the design.
So these are just clusters of 4 of 7 inch? No.
So the big ones are 8, the small ones are 6. Okay. So the mean average is 7. That's what you have to remember.
So you did a cluster of 8 inch, 6 inch, 8 inch, 6 inch, and that's how you created this.
Yeah, so you need that 2 inch difference between the balloons. So when you construct the wall, as you can see here, it locks.
Yeah.
So they snuggle in nicely. Otherwise, if you don't have a big enough gap, they don't fit nicely. Yeah. And if it's too big, it just doesn't work. So basically, let me just position it this way.
Yeah.
So if you can hold it for me. So I've got my Dacron line. The reason I've got 2 lengths going through it is because when I first started the bottom, I just did a figure of 8, and any of the excess I just brought through with it at the same time. So it just locks in as you go. I could cut it now. It's not a problem. It's well and truly locked in, but that's fine. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to position the balloon where it needs to go. And the most important thing is to get pressure on it. So if you hold that column tight for me, you can feel how hard I'm pressing. Then I'm just going to create a figure of 8 and come back round, and then I'm going to release the pressure. And what happens is that the balloons grip onto the Dacron line. What you don't want to be doing with the line is wrapping them in and just trying to pull them in that way. You use the pressure and the figure of 8 to make them grip.
So which column are we doing here on the screen?
So on the screen here, we're doing this one.
Okay.
So the next one is 1 orange. It's a small cluster, 1 orange and 3 yellow.
Okay.
So it should be a little 6 inch one.
Yep.
There you go. And then looking at my screen, so the yellow's here, so the orange for me needs to go on that side. So you're following this just like a sewing pattern, really.
Okay.
So you're just going to push that out. So push hard, figure of 8, and wrap round.
So if I wasn't here to hold this, what would you do?
I'd work against a wall or a chair. So I need something to push against. So our next one is all yellow. So the next 3 are all yellow. Okay. Big, small, big again. So I've come to the end. Yep. I've made my column, and if you look here, sorry, just to explain, is that you can see the alternating. So you've got big, small, big, and that will always look like that. So, you know, you'll never get a complete flat top with this technique, but it's as good as. So it's actually quite nice.
So what are we doing now?
So we're going to lock the line off so the balloons can't slide off the line. So we just cut the line. Finish with that now. And then we're just going to take this. Just make sure everyone can see this. I'm going to hold the line under my finger I'm going to wrap it through, but I need to keep hold of that loop. Just wrap it through, create a loop and an end, and just gently slide it. If you go fast, you can easily snag the end of a balloon. So we're just going to come round and do that. So we do it twice. That's now locked, so the balloons can't come off. We can remove the excess line. Okay, so I'm going to take this panel and I'm going to add it onto, this column and add it onto the panel, I'm just going to move this out of the way. This is my other pole that I'm going to use. And now just got to make sure the positioning is correct. And I know, looking
orange is on the outside?
Yeah, the orange is out on the outside, so the orange is there. Okay, so that's where it's going to fit in nice and tightly. Yeah. Okay, so we are going to use a technique, because I'm an OG or a dinosaur. An old kid.
No? What's OG stand for?
What's it?
Old git?
No, it's not.
Oh, what is it?
Original gangster.
Original gangster. Okay, all right.
So I'm going to use...
Sorry, I take it back. You're not an old git at all. That could be very offensive.
That's exactly what I thought it was.
All right, okay.
Exactly when I first...
So somebody called you an OG and you were offended?
I thought, I was like, really? That's not very nice. So going back to traditional techniques and things that have worked in the industry, I'm just going to show a technique that I've probably showed before, but the reason why I use it. So I know that a lot of people put walls together using 260s. And, on something like this, you get away with it, no problem at all, because it's nice and small, it's nice and compact. When you start doing huge walls, and, there are some fantastic walls, if you get the tension wrong within that wall, it is a complete and utter nightmare, because suddenly what should be nice and straight is now veering off into different directions. And it really is down to creating the perfect tension. So this was a technique that was shown to me many years ago by an artist called Ian Hurd. I don't know if you ever met Ian. No. So Ian was incredible designer, did a lot of really big installations. A lot of them were at sort of like theme parks and stuff like that. He did incredible stuff. And I always remember asking him, I said, how long, I used to get a lot of money for them. And so I say, how long do you guarantee them for? And he'd say, 1 day. I say, seriously, you're asking, it was like in the tens of thousands for his sculptures. And I say, so you would only guarantee it for 1 day? He said, yeah, absolutely. He said, but what I would do is I would have a maintenance policy, and I would go back each day to make sure that it still looked as good on the 3rd day, the 4th day, the 10th day, or however. And so that amazing business just grew and grew and grew. Yeah. So he had some incredible techniques, and this was one of them. So this technique Ian showed during a class, and I've always stuck with it because it works for me. So basically, you use an elastic band with 2 paper clips. The most important thing is that the paper clips are the same size and the elastic bands are all the same size. Okay. Because if you use multiple size elastic bands, you're going to get inconsistency with the stretch.
Makes sense.
So if anybody wants to know what size I'm using for this particular wall, I'll happily share them.
36, isn't it?
Yeah, you can see that. Okay, so they're number 36, just so you know. I tend to try and go for a good size paper clip as well, because again, it makes it easier to work with. Yeah. So the concept is, we've done this before, Greg, and we'll do it again.
I know, it's a long time ago.
Okay, so if you could hold the line. All right, so the idea is that we're going to have 3 lines running through here. So what we're going to do is, on the first line, we're going to attach a paper clip. And so you go through, so it goes onto the inner lip, okay? So you can see that when you go from one line to the next, we're going to create tension, okay? All we want to achieve with this, because whatever technique you use, you're always going to create tension here. What we're trying to do is create tension here and create the tension at the end, but we don't want to create any tension in the middle. So when I go to attach, let's pretend we've come from another line. When I come to attach to the next line onto this one, I take my paper clip and I'm going to attach it to the paper clip, okay? Yeah. Excuse me. I wear glasses and I wear them nicely on my head, okay? All right, so what happens then is we pull, and can you see what happens? Yeah. It holds the column in place, but it creates absolutely no tension. Oh, yeah. We'll just slip that off at the top there. If you were to do that with a 260Q, you would still create that. If you take it through and pull it and take it through, you'd still create a one-way
I see what you mean.
pull.
Yeah.
So we don't want to do that. We want to just create that flow. So all I'm going to do here is I've already got my lines in there. I'm just going to so you always turn it round, so you've got the double lip. I position them every 2. So from the bottom, we'll start from the top. It was a 1 at the top. It's going to be difficult for people to see, but they remember seeing it from there. I'm going to feed that onto that paper clip, like so.
Yeah.
So now it's on the paper clip and not on the line. Make sure your paper clip's in the right connection, in the right direction here. Yeah. And it's on this line here. And then I'm just going to take this one and I'm just going to snap that on there. And that'll hold it. And now I just go down the whole column. Do you want to come and help me, please, Loretta?
Of course.
You've got...
Wake up.
Assistant coming.
She's got
just having a snooze.
I know.
She's got better knees.
Thanks for not snoring. I appreciate
better knees than me. Do you want to start at the bottom?
Yep.
And then we'll meet in the middle.
Meet in the middle.
See, you didn't ask me.
Oh, you could... Well,
No,
maybe
fine,
that's because are you a dinosaur as well?
Well, I am. Yeah. I'm another OG. Old git.
I've got to get right down here. Sorry, I'm going off camera.
So I know I need another one because I've used it in demonstrations. So you're going to go down there.
Change my ring round. Sorry.
I will find the next one in here. I'll let you hold that one.
I can be the holder, yeah.
You can hold that. Let me find this one. So it's got to be around, there it is there. We wouldn't normally do it like this. You'd normally have it lying down to make it really easy. So here we go. Pull it.
So because this is the final column, you are putting the paper... Oh no, you put the paper clip onto the line anyway, as you go along, don't you?
Yeah, so that's all really locked nice and tightly. You can see it's really nicely finished off. So what I'm going to do quickly now, let's just move those out of the way, is I want to put it on the pole and base.
Okay.
I've already prepared one side. So all I've done is I've just got an old knot lamp, just wrapped it. I think we've shown that probably many times before. But I want to position it into the wall so it's nice and hidden.
Okay.
So we can do that. Let's just
turn it around.
Just turn it round. Again, this is
better.
Yeah, that's better. This is so much easier to do with it lying down. So it might be a little bit more difficult. But what we do is position it where it's going to go. So it's going to go behind these balloons here. So we're going to actually fit it into the wall.
Okay.
So I have to manually pull that open and just keep pulling those.
Squeezing it in. Properly manhandling them.
Yeah, they're all nicely underinflated. So if we can get that one in, that'll help. There we go, process. We'll get that one in.
So you're not wrapping them round or anything?
No.
You're
just literally just pulling it into position. But just you keep pushing that back. If you can push the wall back. That's it. That's it. Well done. Thank you. That makes all the difference. That's it. Pulled on beautifully. There you go. So you can see even from behind, it's completely hidden. Look.
So that's the back of the wall, and you can't see those. That's great.
That's perfect.
And then, of course, you can wrap that pole in whatever colour you want.
So I've used the pink because it's one of the colours that we've used in the wall. And the whole idea of using a colour on it is so it disappears. If we'd left it black, that would have shown through and it really wouldn't have looked so nice.
So if you really wanted to, you could do pink.
Oh, you could have done.
And then do the yellow.
Absolutely.
Coral.
Coral.
And then the yellow.
Yeah.
And then the orange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Excellent. Okay. Well, should we turn it around the other way?
Yeah.
Pivot. I just can't help it. I've got to say pivot anytime I'm moving something like this.
So there's
I would have said that as well. Friends.
There you go.
You're the wrong side now.
I'm sorry. There we go. So that's it. I'm done.
Excellent.
My job is done.
All right. Well, Sue, it's been a pleasure. Now we need to get the other half of the dynamic duo. It is, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only, the lovely Loretta.
Hello.
Sorry, that was a bit more of an introduction than Sue got. So Sue's the OG though.
Yeah, when she comes back in, we can throw a party.
Okay, all right. All right, wow.
I've made a couple of things for you.
Well, these are cool.
Hi.
Hi. Oh, yeah, we're not hugged. Hugged.
Hello. Yeah, I've made a couple of things. This is like half made, but I feel like I can talk you through it. And
now, I think most of these techniques we've done on BMTV before.
We have. You have.
So I think it was you that did the thing that was really hard.
Yeah.
I struggled with that.
Yeah, but you did good. You did
Oh,
really
you're so sweet.
So I've done 2 of them and attached them together.
These little flowers.
Yep.
We've done with somebody. Anybody, any idea who?
I think you've done them with Vicky, didn't you?
With Vicky?
I think so.
We've done it with somebody, but we'll put the show in the description.
Wisteria, you've done with Chris
Horn.
And the leaf, I like to call it a leaf or a feather, and you've done that with Vicky as well.
Okay, cool.
So my inspiration with this was, like on a wall, say it was a sequin wall or whatever wall, a backdrop, that the balloon artists typically like to put on like balloon arrangements, don't they? Or flower arrangements. Sorry.
It's all right.
Flower arrangements or the floral pieces, don't they? The pampas arrangements. Yeah. So this was kind of something I'd started to make an arrangement out of balloons. So there needs to be a little bit more to it.
Yeah.
But I started like that, and I thought this would be a great addition to these colours are reminding me of tropical.
Yep.
Right. So then I thought this Sempertex Reflex Lime would be a really good
and the other
contrast.
Colours are the colours that are already included.
I've included all that, the honey yellow and the fashion pink. The only one I haven't included was the coral, apart from there, just not in a 260 is what I mean. But then you could put this absolutely anywhere on this wall, but I think because it's quite big, and if this wall was a lot bigger, this wouldn't look quite so. It
is going to look quite a little bit out of proportion, isn't it?
So I just wanted to show you that you can make your own arrangement. Maybe I could have halved it, really.
And how would you attach that? Is it just literally?
So we can just put a 260 round in the same colour, and I'm going to put it this way, so it kind of comes up the wall here, just to bring in some colour. So I will attach that in a second. So we'll do that in a second. This is something I made. Well, this I made yesterday, so this isn't actually fresh, and I think it's been a little bit through aircon and then hot and cold and hot and cold. So it's kind of a little bit out of shape. But
so you've used the classic distortion technique to make that. So 260 and a 12-inch balloon, I'm guessing.
Yep.
So I think we've done a show on that before. But these look really cool from a distance.
Yeah.
These look awesome.
And I call these grapes.
Okay.
Because I like to make up my own names for things.
Well, they look like grapes.
Yeah, they're grapes. So shall I show you how I did that?
Please do.
Let's move that to the side because we will focus on this. So I'm going to use the
Reflex Lime.
The Reflex Lime.
Let's go with hand pump now.
Hand pump.
It says Greg on it.
It's my middle name.
Is it? Okay.
So I'm going for just a couple of pumps. Honestly, you don't need a lot. Like that. Couple of pumps, 2 pumps. Let a little bit of air out. And then this is how I start them. It's the same as I do pearls or bubbles.
Yeah.
I think people call them different things, don't they?
Some people normally do them in a big, long...
Yeah.
And you use them on your big bouquets.
Yeah, I love them. And that trick of tying them in first, everybody loves that. So that was a good one.
That was.
I just do 2 fingers, 2-finger width for my bubbles. But with this, it actually doesn't matter because this is the inside of a flower and it doesn't need to be perfect. No flower is perfect. So just do your bubble, your first one, second one, third one. Mm-hmm. When you get to your third one, take the knot and your third twist and twist them as one. Tuck that through. So you have your first 3.
All right.
And then just keep going. 1, 2. And when I'm twisting about 8 times. If you don't twist enough, that's when they come undone.
Yeah.
You've got your 3. Twist them all together.
Cool.
And keep going. 1, 2.
So obviously Sue's just shown us
3.
This classic decor.
Yep.
Have you done any classic decor?
Yes. I love, for one of my content days, we did classic decor. Or do you class Lincolns as classic decor?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I would. We did. I'm a massive fan of doing walls like this. I know Sue is saying it's a panel, but it's a panel of a wall. We just haven't created the big one.
Yeah.
I'm a massive fan of doing them this way because I think it's quicker, stronger, and when you make organic walls, you tend to use so many balloons, and I think it makes it unaffordable for the client.
Yeah.
Whereas if you can make it like this and then add elements on, it's so much better. So we made a Lincoln wall for our Christmas wall on my content day, and then some of the girls just made it. What we did was we added puddles at the bottom to make it organic. So we put organic with the classic, and it looked really good, and I love it. I think must have been about 8 foot.
Okay.
Yeah, really big because it was a really big venue. Right, as you can see, I've just kept on doing 3s, okay, until I've got to the bottom like that. I like to leave that bottom bit on.
Okay. And
then make lots of them. So if we bring the flower back up, what I try to do is not use any glue in this part. Can you see that there is, underneath here, I've tied, so the first one I do, I go straight down the middle and I tie it to a neck of one of these balloons.
Okay, let's show that.
Yeah, it looks a bit messy under there at the moment, but what you can do is make a 260 flower to cover the bottom to make it look prettier, like aesthetically pleasing, but
if you're just going to tie it on like that, you don't
then
really
it doesn't, not really.
So you've tied the first one on?
I tie the first one on, right? And then, so that's the first one, that goes in, it gets tied on. Now let's pretend this is the second one. With the second one, I will cut that off. Where did these scissors go? Oh, have we not got any?
Scissors!
Sue! We're going to cut the end off, and then what I do is I tie that, and then I leave this bit on, and I will go in. I know this might look a little bit, but it doesn't need it, but I'm going to show you anyway. Yeah. Let's say that there was a gap here. We'll go in and wrap it around some of the others to connect them in.
Yeah.
And then they're all tied into each other then. And then I just look for gaps and keep filling gaps in. Yeah. And I like making it look quite 3D.
I love that.
So that's how I do that. And then if you do your flower differently, and you'll have the end of the knotted end further up here, you can tie them to that as well. Yeah. You can do it all different ways. Cool. But so that's how I would do that.
We're going to attach this and this to this.
Yeah. But you can to this we can add some curly whirlies. Do you want me to show you a curly whirly?
Curly whirly?
Yeah, I love curly whirlies.
What, the chocolate?
I actually do like them.
I've not had a curly whirly for years.
Yeah. Anyway.
Make
sure you got some curly whirlies next time.
Yeah.
So
curly whirlies and prawn cocktail. Got it. Get that on the rider.
That's gonna be fun. Okay, I'm gonna stretch.
Yeah.
And I'm going to use, so you can do these lots of different ways, but this is the way that I like doing it. And this is where my advice of getting a good machine comes into play. Okay. Because I don't think you can do a curly whirly quite right without a powerful machine that can blow up a 260.
Are you going to wrap it around the pump?
No. I'm actually not. No. And I'm going to show this on screen, but it isn't easy to do.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to...
That sounds like a challenge to everybody watching.
Yes, it's a challenge. And
curly whirly challenge, everybody.
Let's do a curly whirly challenge. Just hashtag it. Get it trending. Curly whirly challenge and see how many people that can do it. Okay. I really hope they can. So the first trick that I found was to inflate it first. So again, you don't need to do all of it. So that's enough. And then just let it out. So now I'm not going to use all of it. I'm going to put my 2 fingers like this and hold it with my thumb. I'm not going to use that bit because I haven't done anything with that. And I'm going to make sure I'm wrapping it around, but there's no knots when I'm wrapping it around. It's not twisting or knotting. It's nice and flat. This is the tricky bit. I might not get it right the first time around, but I will get it.
Oh, and you know what? This is the benefit of this kind of inflator because you use your foot.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I don't like wrapping it around
I hope this goes
stuff.
Well.
Yeah, so do I.
I hope it doesn't burst.
It won't because it's Sempertex.
Guaranteed against bursting. That's not a thing, everybody. Balloons do occasionally burst.
I pop many with my nails all the time. So yeah. Okay, so at this point I'm holding tight here.
Okay.
And when I'm blowing, it's essential for you to like watch my hands and arms. This needs to be all the way on. And ready?
Yeah. That's a tight curly whirly.
Yeah. So I didn't move my hand away. Did you see that?
Well, you kind of did a little bit.
Yeah, I moved with it, but I didn't move my hand until the pressure.
Until the pressure was on there, yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does make sense.
And then I tie that off. And then again with that bit, you can just cut that off.
That is a good looking curly whirly.
It is, isn't it? And then I'll probably cut that a little bit too small because now I can't do the knot. Come on, Loretta.
This is the curly whirly challenge after all.
There we go.
Well done.
And then we can cut that right down low. And then you can have this coming out of your flower if you wanted, like that.
That's great.
Yes, you could have one either side.
Love it.
But yeah, I love a curly whirly, and I just think it's nicer on my fingers than it comes out on that. They're too big when they come out on that. I want it tight.
That's really nice and really uniform as well.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. So we're going to attach them on?
Yep, let's attach them. I'm just going to use these because they're here. So just any 260, turn it into a ribbon.
So if somebody didn't have the time or a customer didn't have the budget, because that would take time.
Oh, yeah.
Distortion takes time. You charge for your time.
Yeah.
It's going to cost your customer more.
Mm-hmm.
How would you do that if the customer, or decorate this if the customer didn't have the time for that sort of stuff?
If they didn't have the budget for this?
The budget for the time.
Okay, so then that's where we're going to show you a second version of decorating this so that it would have a different price tag. This will be your higher price tag because it's distortion, it's amazing.
Just takes time.
Yeah. But we have another way that another kind of theme that we want to show you together.
Let's put this on first.
Yep.
And then I don't know how we're going to transition to the other, but we'll figure it out. Watch this space. Oh, we're going to do the clicky finger thing, apparently.
Oh, are we?
We are, yeah. And we're going to do a three-way clicky. That's quite hard to say. Three-way clicky finger thing. Yeah.
Sounds like fun.
Oh, exciting.
I'm just going to attach my ribbon. Half and half, like 2 equal sides, and I'm going to go in to where I've attached onto the other 260 there.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's pulling on the same thing. Just going to tie it in a knot. Every time I'm on camera, I tend to not be able to tie knots. It's quite amazing, really. Oh,
that's the scissors. I'm with the scissors.
Yeah, every time. Okay, right.
There you go, you did it. Well done.
So now, when I'm pulling this, it's not going to pull any tension on my actual flower. And then it's just up to you where you want it to go. I think I'm going to bring some of the colour. So this is honey yellow. So I think I'll bring some honey yellow up here. And then I don't want to cause tension.
I'm going to go over here.
So you know the tension conversation that Sue was having?
Yep.
I, again, don't want to cause tension. So I'm going to attach it to the pole.
Okay.
Okay? And I want this part to fit into this. I don't want to stick it where it's really going to stick right out. I want it to kind of sink in. So I'm going to go here and then I'm going to angle the 260 so it goes around the pole that she's put in.
Okay.
And I'm literally just tying it around the pole. There's nothing special going on here. And I'm going to tie it at the back. Do you want me to turn it around to show you?
No, it's fine. You're just tying it
on.
off.
You got it. Tying that on nice and tight like that. So it's not applying any pressure to the wall, it's tied onto the pole, and then you can reposition that however you want. So that's there.
Okay.
These, you can find a neck and tie on, but I would make another one, and I think I would put a 260 in the middle and wrap that in. So, because I don't want it to be sucked right in, I want it to sit like there. Okay. So I'll do that.
Let's leave that for now.
Yep, I'll do that in a minute. You can do that at the end. And then this one has got some 260s sticking out of it already.
You're going to be back over here. I'm going to go over here.
Yep, sorry, swap sides. It's already got 260s coming out that I left on from earlier.
Yep.
And you can don't worry about positioning right now. Do the same thing. Find the pole. Bring the 260 in. Wrap it round the pole, and then we can worry about like positioning the other bits.
Yeah.
So I've got that in. And then we can start turning that around and having that sticking out this side. like that, because I want it sticking more up. And then all these bits you can just move around. All you do is move all them bits around.
Just have a play.
And have a play, which I will sort out in a second and make it all look perfect for you to film. I would also maybe do an extra few of them and just maybe have some coming out just as extra little bits to bring in the green, but you can go as mad as you want with that.
Are we going to do that then? So let's do the clicky finger thing, and then you do your bit, and then we'll get Sue back on. We'll do another. We're going to have a 2 clicky finger thing in one show.
Okay.
And one with 3 people. So ready? Remember how to do it?
I do.
1, 2, 3. Oh, God. That gets harder, you know, every time. I think the older I get, the more shocking it becomes. But anyway, ta-da! Big reveal. So what have you done? You've added your twirlies.
Added my twirlies because they look so cool. And then I changed my mind about adding them in. I just added more around the flower. Added some foliage in there.
That's really nice.
And literally I just tied them in with 260s again, so it's not pulling on anything. It's just all placed in and tied in so they can't fall out.
It looks awesome.
Yeah?
Looks great. I've not got the budget though, like I said earlier on. I've not got the budget.
Cheapskate.
Sorry, but I think we need to do a clicky finger thing to show something that is less expensive.
Okay, well I have another option for you. Would you like to reveal together? Oh no, I think we should reveal it as a 3.
Okay, well let's do the clicky finger thing. Let's see. It's like a 2 clicky finger thing show. Ready?
All right, sorry.
1, 2, 3. Wait! Whoa! Never done that before. Oh my word!
I come bearing daisies.
Yay. Anyway, okay, so and this has changed as well.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to point out to everybody who just turned it around. This was on the other side. Sorry. Spoiler alert, but this is the more budget-friendly version of the wall. You've got some daisies that you've made
latex.
out of latex.
Just very simple sized 5 balloon cluster with a balloon each side, and then another Prima daisies, which are really, really lovely.
Yeah, they sell very, very well. They're lovely, aren't they? They're just really
and they're fresh,
simple.
Really lovely, really gorgeous. So we've got a 5th one to add in to balance it out. So I think I'm going to let Loretta do that.
Thank you. So we've just turned it into a ribbon.
Yeah.
The 260 into a ribbon. We're going to wrap it around the middle here and tie it in. And then what we like to do at this point is make a loop. So just tie a knot at the top so you've kind of made yourself a handle. And then where should we
pick a place?
We'll
I think we're going to bring around. Yeah, I think around here.
So I'm going to pick this balloon here, go round like that.
So we've weighted the flowers at the base because we want to have it visually heavy from the base. Because what we're going to do, I'm going to run off shot.
Oh, she's gone.
And I'm going to bring in these beautiful.
Oh, they're nice, aren't they?
Absolutely gorgeous. So we can actually position those.
So they're helium filled?
They're helium filled. And
we could put those.
Yeah, we're going to complement the design and just add those in just to create a nice effect.
What I love is that we've turned this tropical wall into like a daisy floral wall. With the other side made it look really bright and fun, and this side gives it a different tone, like that typical first
whimsy.
Whimsy.
Yeah, whimsical.
It just still works with the daisy tone, like with that typical first birthday look.
And daisies are really, really on trend.
Yeah, absolutely.
So any which way we can include them, and adding these lovely new balloons in is gorgeous as well. So
this is the way you would get your budget-friendly flower.
Yeah.
And this as well.
Yeah, no, that's great. Well, Dynamic Duo, thank you so much for that. As guests on BMTV, you get to ask a question of the week.
What side of the wall do you prefer?
Oh yeah, okay. Do you think it should be tropical or should it be whimsical? Tropical or whimsical? Which is your favourite? Let us know in the comments down below on Facebook and on YouTube. Ladies, thank you so much for coming in. And thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you for subscribing. If you haven't, please do, and hit the bell icon. You'll be notified every time we upload a new show. Check us out on Instagram and on TikTok, where the fun stuff happens. Stay happy, stay positive. I look forward to seeing you all again next week. Bye.